guys, you got through all of our delightful facts from chapter 10. Yeah, I know there's a reason that slide was listed as a list of terrible facts. But now we get to watch a movie, so that's fun. Um, so the documentary that we'll be watching this week is entitled Bananas, with an exclamation point and a random asterisk. There's a reason for that. It's a film by two Swedish documentary filmmakers who followed an American lawyer who went down to Nicaragua to represent a number of workers in a lawsuit against Dole. Now, something you might not know is that Dole and Chiquita both use chemicals that are banned in most of the world, in their banana plantations in Central America. And when I say banned, I mean really banned. Like the chemical they're talking about in the film that's coming up here was banned in 1977. We've known for 50 years this was a damaging chemical. So why are they still using it in Central America? It's a great question, right? So this lawyer goes down to represent these people in this lawsuit against Dole. Many people have tried. Many people over many decades have tried. Almost always gets thrown out of court. It's almost impossible for these people to get any sort of recognition from Dole or Chiquita. So the film follows this gentleman going down to Nicaragua, meeting the folks, making their case, coming back up here, and the trial and all of that. This actually is really interesting, not just because of the bananas and all of that, but also there's a second documentary called Big Boys Gone Bananas. And if you love the first documentary, I highly recommend the second. It's available in the same place and through our library. Basically what happened is after they made the first film, Dole sued them to stop distribution of it. They didn't like the film. They claimed that the reason they didn't like the film is because the lawyer has been determined to be a fraud. Now, what happened with that is that the case was won, you'll see it in the thing, but it was overturned by a judge who determined the entire thing was fraudulent after meeting secretly with people whose names we'll never know. Literally. We don't know who they are. We don't know who she talked to. We'll never know what happened there, what they told her, anything. But from this secret testimony, she decided to invalidate the ruling and throw into question the lawyer's status in terms of being a con man. So Dole is saying that this man is a con man and he is trying to hurt these people, and that was why they were trying to stop the documentary. So it's crazy how this works. It's actually very hard to make documentaries like these because of these kinds of restrictions, because they're almost always going to sue or try to get it taken down or add weird language to it. Now you can choose to believe whatever you want, but personally, I think there are better ways to scam a multinational corporation than to spend a decade of your life traveling on your own dime to Nicaragua preparing a case only to receive maybe less than $500,000. I don't think that's a great scam. I think there are better ways to scam people, which is why it doesn't really hold water for me. But it's up to you guys. You're gonna see the documentary and come and talk to me about what you thought and who you think is to blame here and what's going on. So as we watch our documentary, this is taking place in a peripheral nation, as we learned from our keywords this week. For Wallerstein's classifications, this is a peripheral nation. America's a core nation. So you'll really get to see how that relationship works both ways, right? How they rely on us for pretty much everything, and as a result, how we are able to exploit those resources and those people. So get ready for this. Just some warnings. Because the pesticide that they're talking about specifically impacts fertility, there are some discussions of child loss, and that kind of thing in the documentary. So I just want you to be aware of that. It's not a lot. It's not detailed. From what I recall, it was just one or two scenes. But I don't want anybody to be caught off guard by that. So just to let you know that that's happening. So give this documentary film a watch. I always recommend you have the discussion board up in a separate pane so that you can keep an eye on that as you're watching the documentary and kind of form your ideas about that. And then we'll see what you think about me ruining America's favorite fruit for you afterwards. Okay? Have a good one.